this creates this perfect pointed finger as far as your alignment. Namaste, Star Family. Welcome to the Matrix Oracle. My name is Audrey. This is your cosmic weather forecast for Mars in Virgo in Western astrology, June 17th to August 6th, 2025. What we notice right away is the presence of Mars in the first house. If you've never heard me say it before, the first house is the year of the womb. This is the year when we are in gestation in the womb of our mother. And what it brings is a lot of destructuring, because Mars in the tarot is the Tower card, the structuring of the nervous system, of certain patterns of old behaviors, but especially the ones that were inherited. Interestingly, Virgo is associated to the 6th house, which is the house of health. So there's going to be a lot through this transit that is very much focused on our vibrancy, on our light, on how our day-to-day routine and habits is supporting or not our health, and how we shine our desires, our truth, our passion. In the association of traditional Chinese medicine to astrology, Virgo is connected to the small intestine meridian, which is very much connected to joy and passion. And this is an archetype, if you ever look in the tarot, that shows that it's an old man carrying this lamp with this light, the light that lives within you. What may come up through this transit as you're seeing the line of tension between Mars and Saturn and Neptune in the first degrees of Aries, that is all about our free will, our divine will, of desire of creation. So, if some of you feel that you've inherited certain patterns of behavior or certain patterns just lodged in your fascia, your muscles, that are from your family lineage that were inherited, this transit is going to allow you to notice what those patterns are. And because this tension between Mars and Saturn and Neptune is in the 8th house, it might be things that are really hidden, that are going to require you to deep dive within, especially with the invitation of Virgo. Now, I would suggest, because Aries is connected to the lungs in traditional Chinese medicine, your first breath, this is how we start creation. We first come into the world and we breathe, okay? So breath work is going to be tremendous help to support you to deep dive within, to just allow yourself to feel the flow, because as you inhale and as you exhale, you're rebalancing receiving and giving. You're rebalancing the energy between one and the other, yin and yang. Now, interestingly, I don't know why the calculation didn't pick up on one major aspect, which is a yod, a finger of God, between Mars going in line of tension to Pluto retrograde, as well as Jupiter. This creates this perfect pointed finger as far as your alignment, your law of resonance. And what does that mean is that the number of thoughts that you have throughout the day and the numbers of daily habits and routine that you repeat every day, it all adds up to merge into one frequency. So there's here this invitation to release some of those old patterns that are lowering your vibration. As your vibration rises, you're able to receive greater guidance from your higher self, from divine source, to follow the path towards your dreams. This is something that is in the works with Jupiter that is squaring Neptune and Saturn, creating a bunch of activation to understand how we are invited to this new paradigm of creation. It requires structure, yes, with Saturn, but it also requires flow with Neptune. As you follow your inspired ideas through this period of time, whenever you feel any type of lower emotion, block, or whatever that could feel like it's in the way of your goal, of your dream, know that it might be an invitation to release some of the old ways of always kind of pushing towards a goal instead of allowing ourselves to kind of go forward with an action and then let us receive the feedback of this action and then take the next action and receive that next feedback. A little bit more back and forth with this momentum that ultimately will take you exactly where you're meant to be. One thing that I want to mention is an important merge between Mars and the South Node between July 20th and 23rd. Mark your calendar, because this is where you're going to have the deepest awareness of some of the inherited patterns lodged in the nervous system, but that could also be connected to past lifetimes trauma and things that your soul is trying to purge out of your body, out of your sacred vessel. For my energy workers, for the ones that like to connect with sound to help them alleviate, dissolve some of those blocks, I'm going to suggest when you pick up on those patterns, when you start asking yourself, hey, what is this anxiety, frustration, depression coming from? Okay, I'm going to suggest my womb detoxifier. I'm going to put the link here for my YouTubers, and if you're watching on Instagram, it's going to be in my survival kit for empath. It's part of my bio link. Just scroll all the way at the bottom and you'll have all the playlists. And if you want to go deeper, I'm going to suggest to you a mudra, which is sign language, that represents the womb. Okay, so all the fingers interlaced, 2 index together, and your thumbs, and you can sit and do some breath work. If some of you enjoy chanting, for me it was necessary to start meditation because my mind was like monkey mind. Okay, it could not stop thinking about stuff. So when I started chanting, it was helping me focus on a sentence and tune more into my body. If that's your case, when you listen to the womb detoxifier and you're doing this womb type of mudra, you can sing the Ramadasa Sase Sohung mantra. This is such a purifier of the DNA. I remember when I experienced a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, I spent 6 months with this mantra every single night. There was so much that was being released and revealed to me as far as blockages. And if you don't enjoy chanting, you can also just hum. When you use the power of your voice, even just through humming, it creates a vibration. And while you're receiving certain frequencies and you emanate your own, what happens is that whatever needs to be purified or that is coming into opposition, friction, gets alchemized. I will leave in the details below of this video the mantra and its full meaning. So some of you, if that's something you want to try, I would be excited and delighted to hear your feedback. If you did give it a chance, let me know. That's all, my dear ones. Thank you so much for your presence. Please remember to sprinkle some love on those videos. It supports the channel to grow.